Ebo2 here, back with another episode of my TARDIS tutorial. In this episode, we're going to be making a universal translator for the TARDIS. So you may remember this from episodes like, well, technically every episode, because this is basically the function of the TARDIS. That means that wherever the Doctor goes, the TARDIS will kind of, I guess, tap into his mind or something, and make it to where the Doctor can understand the people that are there no matter where and no matter what language, and the people in turn will be able to understand the Doctor as if he's speaking their own language. So how would I apply something like that to Minecraft? Well, you can't like go into a multiplayer setting and have it like translate different languages or anything. That would be cool, but I don't know how to do that. I don't think it's even possible. So we're just stuck doing it with stuff within the game itself, which would be things like this guy, like a mob. Because you can't really understand mobs, not even villagers, even though they are kind of humans, I think. Yeah, they just kind of go, huh. So there's the new control right here, and here's our demonstration. Universal Translator active, and if we go up to something such as a villager, like this one here, once we get within 5 blocks, he'll tell us a little message. Would you like to trade something? Yeah, not very creative, but I mean, yes, I would like to trade something. Or maybe I wouldn't, I don't know. You don't really get a choice, you just kind of get asked the question, and that's it. But if we walk away, and then we can keep walking back, and yeah, he'll say it again. And I made this work with a couple of mobs, and of course the zombie just says, brains. You'll make a good lunch. I don't want to be your lunch, I'm gonna kill you instead. And then finally, Piglin. What do you want? They're not very nice now. The moment you walk within 5 blocks of these guys, you will get their little message. And yeah, if you had like multiples, it would only really say it for one of them, so you're not going to get spammed, luckily. So yeah, I mean, unless you have multiple different mobs around you, you're not going to get spammed for multiple of the same mob. So how does this all work? Well, it's actually not all that complicated. Each of these bits with like a command block and a comparator and another one, these each refer to one mob. So we'll start here. This command block is just a simple execute if that lever is turned on, and if so, it'll activate all these, but first let's start here. This one is just say Universal Translator active, then when it turns off, this will turn on and it'll say Universal Translator inactive. And then these are, like I said, all the different lines for all the different mobs. So each of these command blocks in the purple is exactly the same. Almost exactly the same anyway. So we have execute as at E, type equals villager, at S, if entity, tag equals pilot, distance equals ... 5. So basically this is execute as just any villager at themselves if there's the entity of a player with the pilot tag within a distance of 5. Obviously you can change this, it doesn't have to just be the pilot, it could probably just be any player, but I wanted it to be someone, you know, associated with the TARDIS, who's flown in the TARDIS. So maybe if I added like a companion tag in the future, that might be useful, but for now, we just have the pilot tag. And then it's just the same thing for like a zombie, a elder guardian, a piglin, witch, drowned, and creeper. That's all I've got so far, but yeah, you could add whatever mobs you want, as many as you want, anything. But then what is the comparators doing? Well, the comparator, if the villager detects the pilot within a distance of 5 of it, then what is it going to do? It's going to come over here and do execute as any villager still, but limit of 1, and that's just so that you don't get spammed, because if you had like, say 5 villagers and you walk up to all 5 all at once, it's going to spam you with 5 messages in the chat, and so I thought we'll just do limit of 1. You don't have to do that, but you can if you don't want to get spammed in the chat. Add at S at that same villager, run say, would you like to trade something? So as at S makes it run the command as the villager, which is why it says in the chat that it's like actually that mob speaking. And then pretty much all the rest of these are exactly the same. The reason why I had them kind of alternating is because if you had these right next to each other, the commands would run, like if this one activated, it would also activate this one. Or if this one activated, it would probably activate all three. So yeah, you don't want that, so that's why I've kind of alternated them. 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. But all of these are kind of the same, just for different mobs. So you see this one was zombie, and this one, it's just you change the type to zombie, and then add at S, run say, brains. Basic gist of it is these are all kind of the same, just change the entity type for the different mobs and what message you want them to say. And obviously this, when the lever's pulled, it would constantly have this on, and so these would go from, I needed to mention that this is on repeat, but it's also on needs redstone, meaning these will only be active obviously once this is active, which is the lever. But yeah, since it's not active, you'll see we can go up to any of these mobs and nothing will happen, but if it were active, there you go, and we'll start getting the messages when we walk within 5 blocks. You can see these are now powered, and they're on needs redstone, but they've got the redstone, so yeah. You can see once we go up to the witch, the one for the witch is powered. If we go up to the zombie, the one for the zombie is powered. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. Fairly simple feature. Not really too practical, like there's not a lot of real use for this, it's just kind of a fun thing. But yeah, if you want to add it, there's how. So yeah, this has been the Universal Translator for the TARDIS. I've been Tivo2. Be sure to subscribe, to follow my Instagram, Tivo2IT, to follow my Twitter, which is also Tivo2IT, to join my Discord, and lastly, to have a nice day. Goodbye.